What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high-level technicians operating globally and beyond. So listen, today I wanted to get into a conversation that I was having the other day with a young lady, and this came as I was, let's just say, getting ready to start my day after a long night. In any case, she asked me as I was, getting my things together to shower and eventually leave. She asked me what it is. I guess it was her thinking out loud, right? Women tend to do this from time to time, and she just said, "Damn, what is it about you? I don't understand it." And what's funny about this is that obviously it was a rhetorical question. We both already knew the answer to it, but it got me to thinking about what value is to a woman regarding an attractive and arousing and a sexually pleasing man. Like, what is the essential element about a certain type of man that brings out a level of primal arousal in a woman? And I knew the answer to this because this is something that I wrote in my book. Explanation and description coming soon about the details. But it got me to thinking, and this is really at the crux of the conversation about why a woman will make a requirement for certain men to pay for things for her, like dates, trinkets, vacations, trips, whatever, whereas the same woman will turn around and pay for these things or pay for the presence of certain men. And basically it comes down to this. I looked in the young lady's closet and I pointed out a few things. Now, this is one of those modern women who lives in downtown Chicago, and I'm actually posting a text message from this person. And don't worry about it. I don't think she watches this channel, and even if she does, she ain't gonna say nothing. She got a man. But in any case, I looked in the closet, which of course is a walk-in closet, and I pointed out various shoes, and I act like I didn't really know what these shoes were. I pointed to, this one pair of shoes, and I'm like, okay, what's that designer? She's like, Ferragamo. I'm like, okay, point to another pair of shoes. I'm like, what's that designer? Okay, that's Christian Louboutin. I point to this other pair of shoes, which are, were obviously Gucci shoes, and I'm like, who bought those shoes for you? She's like, stop playing, I'm independent, she's an attorney. She's like, okay, of course she bought them herself. And I'm like, how did you feel when you bought those shoes? Like, what was the sense that came over you when you paid however much you paid for those shoes? She's like, I felt great. I felt empowered. I felt like all of my hard work had paid off. I felt like women had come a long way, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, great. Thank you for being open and honest about this. It's really great that you were willing to be honest with me about that moment when you put down in excess of $900,000, whatever, for these shoes. Feeling of ecstasy, right? That's the same feeling that women get when they put handfuls of bills inside of an exotic entertainer's box of briefs. Let me be very clear about this, gentlemen, when I say this. It is widely known that the largest consumer in all societies across the board is the woman, is the wife. is the girlfriend, is the, young, independent, strong, independent woman, whoever, single lady, empowerment, whatever you want to call or classify the demographic. We can go through all of the octane levels from the 87 to 89 to 92, 100, of course, and especially the diesel. We can all agree that there is a certain feeling that drives women on a primal level when they see a pair of red bottom shoes or an expensive handbag, to the point where certain men who want to court the attention of these women, these desirable women, will purchase these things. Masters of the Universe will have these items shipped to, their 100 octanes or their mistresses or whatever, because it gives women this overwhelming rush of ecstasy. It's like drugs. Take that same mentality, take that same feeling that a woman gets, and translate that to the type of man that turns her on to the point whereas she would be willing to put down the same amount of money, put down the same amount of energy to receive that same joy that she gets from those shoes and the handbag from this man, just from him being in her presence, just from him sharing his masculine energy, just from him displaying his charisma, just from his physical presence, his chest, his arms, his back, his shoulders, those powerful legs, all of the aspects of his masculine frame, his commanding presence. All of those items, all of those elements of a certain type of man are priceless. They're not only priceless, they're valuable. They're valuable enough to desirable women, to whereas they do not require this man who has these things together to pay a price or pay a tax or pay a fee of admission to be in her presence. She is not only ready, willing, and able to provide those things to be in his presence, but she actually gets a rush. She gets a feeling of ecstasy. She gets almost a drug addict-like reaction to when she is in his presence, to whereas she's thinking about him when he's not around. She's wondering what he's up to when he's not in her presence. She can't help but talk about him to her girlfriends, her co-workers, the same women that she likes to make jealous when she is wearing those fancy shoes, when she's wearing those designer shoes, when she's wearing that designer handbag out and about to work. The same feeling that she flaunts in front of other women that she knows she's making jealous, she puts out her involvement with this type of man because she knows that this type of man is rare nowadays. This type of alpha presence, this type of masculine master, this type of charismatic man with a fit frame is uncommon nowadays. Unfortunately, even with all of this knowledge and information and all of the tools and tips that we try to share that's throughout the internet, even beyond this space, it's still uncommon for the type of select man that she would love to show off, she would love to flaunt and make her friends jealous about. Let me take it to another level. It doesn't matter the socioeconomic background, it doesn't matter the level, the ethnicity, the culture that a woman comes from. When certain women go into a space where they know that they're going to encounter the type of man that is immediately arousing, be it a bachelorette party, a divorce party, a birthday party, this desirable woman will put on those designer shoes. She will carry with her that designer handbag, fill that designer handbag with bills, with money, to come to those events, to come to the venue, to come to the private space, to come to the party bus, so that she could be in the presence of the type of man that she is willing to hand over the bills from out of that designer bag, to be in his presence, so that she can receive that ASP Holy Ghost, so that she can receive that alpha energy, so that she can receive the masculine master's energy, even if it's just for a moment, on his terms. And all he has to wear is some $10 jeans from Marshall and maybe a $1 or $2 t-shirt from H&M or from some discount store or some outlet mall or whatever. I'll do a video showing when I went shopping for different costumes. It's funny. I had a female friend with me. You're gonna laugh at this video, but it's real talk. It's real life. If you put in the work, if you go to the gym, aka church, if you are willing to put in the time and energy and effort that it takes to develop the type of frame, if you are willing to work with a coach or a masculine master that you know, that you are aware of, I've got a list in my description. I put a list in the description of every video. If you're willing to put in the work and invest in your own self-improvement, you will receive the results. You will receive that space. You will receive that treatment from desirable women that only a handful of men are privy to. And only then will you start to only have the beginning of what it's like to live the life of the select. As always, this is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.